Okay. Here we are.
Yep.
So, we're going to start as usual with a song, and then we'll go into a meditation. We're going to do a song of Ricki's. She's going to play it. I'm going to
It's
do
not
a
my
little...
song, it's Suzanne wrote it.
Oh, Suzanne wrote it, right. She wrote the words and you put the music to it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This song is called Lay Down in God's Love. You want these off?
Lay down in God's love. Let it release you from this imaginary place. Lay down in God's love. Let it free you from the fear of the ego. Lay down in God's love. Let it take you to this sacred, shimmering, fulgent place. And lay down in God's love. Let it soothe you with this nurturing grace. Lay down in God's love. God's love.
I think Kate's back.
Eric,
Yeah.
I think I'm unmuted because it's not red, but I can't hear anything. Am I on?
Yeah, we can hear you, but now you're muted, and I don't know what it is if you can't
Sorry.
hear us. So you might want to just try going with the other link that I sent in the email just to watch and listen if you're not able to hear it right now. Okay.
Do a little meditation now.
Yeah. Yep. just close the meditation with a prayer. We give this meeting to you, Holy Spirit. Be you in charge. Okay. So thanks everyone for being here. And I'm feeling to read I'm going to read the group guidelines and the intention for the group. Some things that we have written here on the guidelines that are on the website. For those of you that are facilitating your own groups, you probably have a copy of this already, but this is where that's from. So the inspiration for participating in an Unwind Your Mind group. This is a circle of support for the mind to let go of fear-based thinking and experience the lightness and love of the Spirit. The group intention. The intention for the group is to go deeply into the practical application of ACIM. David Hoffmeister is a demonstration that through commitment and devotion, awakening happens. Unwind Your Mind is a tool to open the mind to the deep truths found in A Course in Miracles. By joining together and learning to connect with and trust our brothers and sisters and become transparent with our minds, we heal. The power to transcend the ego is magnified when two or more gather in this shared purpose. The Course teaches us that at a certain point in our journey, we will not go alone, but that mighty companions will be given to help us on our way. This group is a gift from the Holy Spirit to help take us home. And the group agreement. We agree to refrain from teaching our own ideas, but rather to practice staying aligned with what is already being offered in the teachings of Unwind Your Mind, or the Moody for that week. But we won't have movies online. Laverne, you can sit over there if you want.
You want to get to that?
You're good? Okay.
You comfortable?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Laverne. Here.
Say hi.
Wait.
Hi.
We're very excited to have her here today.
Yeah.
So she leaves in the morning. She wanted to join us.
Yeah. So the next thing on our itinerary is an expression session, or we also call them altar sessions. And I think most of you have been here. I think maybe Leslie, you're new to this, perhaps, but you may have heard of expression sessions. It's basically just an opportunity to just briefly share anything that's on your heart that you feel is in the way. It's not a therapy session. It's not a counseling session. It's just really for everyone to hold the space for each other. And if you have anything on your heart that you just want to just say and just get off your chest, then we're just going to hold the space for you to do that. And it's like putting your thoughts on the altar. So if anyone has anything they want to say in this altar session, this will just be a brief portion of the meeting. We'll just go through it, whoever wants to, and then we'll kind of dive into the book. So if you do, just feel free to unmute your mic and speak up.
Hi. I just wanted to say that I'm so grateful. And it feels like I'm grateful for this gathering, but I think it's really, I'm in gratitude right now, and I wanted to express it. So that's it.
it's Louisa, and I wanted to say that to me it is just amazing how many attack thoughts go through my mind now that I've been really watching for them and identifying the different kinds of things that even would not seem like attack thoughts, but just as you say something little to someone, what's behind it. And I've just been amazed at how much my mind has been full of attack thoughts besides the ones that are real major, the more subtle kinds of things. So I guess that's good that they're coming forth and all, but it kind of worries me that all my life I've been having all these attack thoughts and didn't even know it, or the meanings behind them. So I'm grateful for that, and that I'm starting to identify things like that. I'm done.
Thank you.
I would also like to thank everyone for this joining. And
I just want to hold on one sec, Dan. Louisa, could you mute your microphone again? Thank you.
Okay, yes, I just wanted to thank everyone for this joining, for this opportunity. And whenever we have these, it's been my experience that they have been very effective, and I definitely feel shifted. I think probably the thing that I'd like to put on the altar is that I throughout the day or throughout a period of time, I might forget to think in terms of holy instants, opportunities to make every interaction a holy one. So I would like to put that out there because I know it's some subtle way of ego slowing the process if it can, and just helping, make me forget or allowing me to forget. And it's just all based on the faulty belief in separation. So that's out there now.
Beautiful, thank you. Anybody else? Miracles are welcome as well. Happy thoughts.
I have to say, hi Eric, hi Ricki, that this has been a better week. I think I ran across something in A Course in Miracles that talks about not trying to save people. That's not my job. Let people be responsible for their choices more. And I think that's been really helpful. I had a good morning, the person that I'm beginning to, in some ways, take less and less care of. And that's becoming okay with me. I find that sometimes I don't feel so guilty about saying, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to help you. Focus on me so you don't have to focus on yourself. I don't think that that's a good thing. I want you to focus on your own health. And I was able to say that, and so that felt good to me. To be able to say my truth and really not be angry or frustrated or upset all the time. I have my moments, but I feel like just following the Course is just helping me to be in that holy instant that young man was talking about.
Wow, thank you. Beautiful. Yeah, notice that it's one mind. We're also, all the expressions have been of, oh, look what I saw, look how I'm using it, gratitude. It's just, the healing is all across the board right now, and it's for me, and it's happening for Erik, and it's happening for you guys. It's pretty cool. Sometimes we come to these Google Hangouts and we're all like moving through some intense stuff, and we're all like going, whoa, I don't even know where the ground is. And right now we're all in gratitude. I'm just recognizing that we're all one. It's beautiful.
I'd like to share.
Hi.
Am I off? On?
You're on.
You're good.
Yeah, hi. I'm really glad to meet you all, and that this is so space age to have this connection. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
I switched to my computer because the iPad was a little too weak, so this is better. It's not going in and out. I spent the day. I've been had been involved with a Buddhist community, if that's okay to say, for 30 years. And I took a break because I was hurt, and I had certainly carried these. I don't have all the right language yet, but I'm sure you know what I mean. And also I wasn't connecting with the teacher as much anymore. So, but I did go back today and spent today and yesterday at a program because I love this particular practice. And I've spent the past year with the course, and I feel very blessed because it has softened my heart to such a huge extent that I went in there with an open heart, and I just could tell I had experienced so much forgiveness that I could even go in there, like it was reconciliation for me, that I could even be there all day. And then one of the people that definitely did something that was painful for me sat right close to me, right in front of me practically. I did notice I did have some judgment and attack thoughts. Just a few. I just wanted to say to him, man, that took me 10 years to get over what you did. But I didn't say anything because we were in meditation. And anyway, I just want to acknowledge that out loud. And I aspire to just totally forgive him and get that it never even happened. And it never even happened. And we are both innocent, and we are both joined, and we are both as God created us. Thank you. All, not just both. Okay, I'll mute out.
Thank you.
Number 6.
Yeah. Lisa? Okay, so yeah, I just want to invite everyone to share any of your experiences or insights or questions or miracles that you experienced. I usually, starting at this point, we will have read the material like a week before, or I know I just sent out the 20 pages yesterday, but yeah, if you've had any insights from that reading, or just insights in general from the past week, or miracle stories, or questions come up, then this is a good time to go into that.
Yeah, and I really don't feel like you need the week to get insight from the reading. Like just reading the 20 pages right before you come to join the group is enough to see how that's applied to your previous week. And I've read this first 20 pages a couple of times because I started my own group here in Cincinnati before I went on that mini tour with David, and it seems like in 20 pages, I mean, that is a lot of deep information. I mean, you could read those 20 pages for a couple of years. And it's all about form versus content. And we live in a world of form, and we're trying to transfer our mind being always just completely concentrating on form to a whole different abstract reality where we can see beyond that form and see with Christ's vision. And basically, we don't really know what that looks like. So we have to make a decision that we don't want our old way of seeing anymore, a decision to take a leap into the unknown. And I just actually made that decision about a week or two ago. And we never know what we're saying yes to. We're impelled, we say yes, and we let the cards fall as they may. This is how the journey works. If the fear is too high to do something, we can't move forward, and Spirit gives us something else until we're ready. But when we're ready and the yes comes, everything comes in to support that yes. We have no idea what it's going to look like, and that's where trust comes in. And when we are impelled and we do find that we've said yes, it's always quite beautiful because Spirit is going to give us the support we need to keep taking these unknown leaps. It couldn't work any other way, or we would never take another leap if it was devastating. So, yeah, I found myself on this last mini tour with Erik for 4 days, and for those 4 mornings that I was on tour with him, I woke up every morning and saw, I had asked to see what needed to be seen, and I actually saw where I didn't want God. For 4 mornings in a row while I was on tour, I saw where I wanted a separate personal self that was in control while after I had dedicated my whole life to this awakening and left my life outside the world and came into this community to devote my life to awakening. I had no idea that I was keeping a personal will. And my prayer had been for about a month, let me see what needs to be seen. Well, oh my God, I saw it. And I've been at the Peace House for almost a year now, to be a year in September, just going out where invited to do gatherings and be on tour, play my music and have Spirit speak through me, which has been the most gratifying thing for me. And I've been allowed to do that. But when it came time for a change every few months, I would say, well, I'm not feeling it. I want to be on a lifetime tour. That's where I'm inspired to be, and that's how Spirit uses me. And I began to decide upon the form. And when you decide upon the form, you lose sight of the purpose. Now you think that you have to be happy if you're touring or if you're singing. And it's a constant reminder. And so, yeah, I just saw it all, and it wasn't surprising when a couple of days later I got a call saying I was going to be going to Utah in a couple of weeks. And just like going back into community where I had started 4 years ago, and just was completely afraid. I knew nothing about what I was doing. I was going, I thought, into the light. Well, I was going into the darkness because you had to go through the darkness to get through the light. So if I would bring my past with me to this new function that I've been given, I would be scared to death. I would actually be shaking, and I could see the thoughts come up like, oh my God, the past was this, the past was that. It was the most beautiful opportunity I've gotten. I didn't really know what I was saying yes to, but the opportunity to say, oh, there's no way I'm going to let those thoughts, kind of like what Louisa was talking about. I can see all the thoughts in my mind now, but actually this time when they're coming, I actually know where they lead, and I'm actually refusing to let them. It's not, like we read in Unwind Your Mind, it's not about getting rid of the thoughts, it's about unplugging from them. And so I've just noticed that this time I'm going to Camas, and I'm excited. I'm not afraid at all. Yet the thoughts are still there. I see them, but I'm not buying them. I'm like, wow, oh my God, I see you, but I could never go back to Utah if I actually bought into this. and there's just been a decision. I'm not going back in fear. And the thing is, like, I likened it, when I was telling Erik about it, I likened it to like Jesus on the cross. I mean, we have no idea how simple our lives are compared to what Jesus walked through. I mean, you know, a kind of a bloody death, but he wasn't suffering. He was removed from it. And so I just see this as an opportunity for me to actually, you know, go through everything I've been through without, you know, whatever it would be, with just not the thought system that's running through my head now is the same thoughts I had 4 years ago. But now I'll not use my own vision. I'll use the Christ vision. And I don't know what that'll look like, but I know it's going to be really beautiful. And there's a spark inside of me, and I get more excited every day. So it's like I just get that reassurance. And it's actually I'm already receiving areas, and I'm not even there yet because I changed my town where I live now on Facebook to Utah right now, because that's how much I felt I was already there, because I was just staying here because I was afraid. I was afraid of any other functions like technology, or anything I didn't want to. You know, I'm a rock star. You know, I'm a speaker. You know, this was my thought system. This is where I come from, and this is how Spirit's going to use me. Now I'm like, show me that I can do tech. Show me that I can do anything. Give me all of it at the same time, and let me be convinced that I can do anything if you're doing it through me. And I don't care if I pick up a guitar again. And I don't care if you never use me at a gathering on a tour again. Now I have an idea that I'll do these things again, but I really don't care, because I know that whatever I get is going to be like the coolest thing ever, because it's always been, it took me this long to know, to be convinced that whatever Spirit gives me is going to be way better than anything I could give myself. So when I read these 20 pages and I said, oh, it's about content and not form. That's what I'm doing. I'm letting go of any form I think makes me happy. And literally, it doesn't even compare to. I'm really excited. Yeah.
High five to that.
Thanks.
That's a tough act to follow.
You didn't want to have anything to say.
Yeah, I forgot about this. I had an experience just recently where I bought a car, and I'm thinking, well, I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to make sure that I've got all my ducks in a row, and I'm going to get the best price possible. So my wife and I headed out, and on the way out, we're using her car, and on the way out the driveway, on the way up to Flagstaff, the oil filter falls off the car, and she had just had it fixed the day before. And I was like, what happened? And I went back and I found it laying on the road. They got me squared away, but I was a couple hours late. So we go up to Flagstaff, and now the guy I had the appointment with isn't available, so I get another guy. And I had made an agreement over the phone, actually, by about a certain price, and it went up a couple thousand. And I was like, oh no, I was just incensed. And so I get involved in this conversation with this guy, and it's going on, and a couple of other guys, and all these other people are getting involved, and I'm like, what is going on? So after about 3 hours, I realized, yeah, I'm not going to see what was promised to me in terms of that. And I was just like fuming, and my wife was looking at me going, what is wrong with you? You know? So we get the car. I decided to just go for it. I didn't want to put up with this anymore. And I got home, and I'm like looking at myself going, wow, I am just angry. And I realized that this entire scenario was really about seeing how I felt lied to. I felt kind of attacked in a way. And when I got that, I just laughed, because I realized that it was just a big setup. You know, it was like, the fuel filter falls off the car. I'm 2 hours late. Now I can. Oh, right. So that was a very clear message to me to pay attention to what's really going on here, because it's not what you thought it was going to be. So at the end of it, and really all that night, I just kept turning it over to Spirit, going, oh, yeah, I get it. This is really about thinking that I could be attacked. It's like has nothing to do about the car, has nothing to do with anything else. But having let that go, I was and asked for correction, and clarity. I felt so much better, and I found the whole thing extremely humorous. But it was like a tap on the shoulder going, pay attention here, because you have missed the point originally, and now this is it. So, yeah, that's something that happened to me that I was just not expecting, and really, really grateful for that clarification. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel.
Well, the first thing I want to say is, way to go, Ricki. That is so super. Wow, that is huge. Yeah. And when I was reading these 20 pages today, there's so much in there. And like you said, I could read them over and over and keep getting more and getting more and getting more. And I thought, if we're going through 20 pages tonight, I mean, there's just no way. But the one part I underlined, I highlighted, I made notes, and just was so present with it. And the one part that really I connected with was the loss and gain. And I began writing. I want to share this with you. I began writing here. Oops, not there, it's over here. Oh, yeah. I was sitting, and as I was reading, I was being still with all the words. And when I began to write, I wrote, I could lose my identity. I thought I had given that up. Oh, big joke. I could lose my car and possessions. Now, the only thing I own right now is my car and whatever would fit in my car. And they're in California, and I'm in Mexico. And it's like, but they're, and I think one day, it doesn't matter. But when I was doing this, I saw it still matters. And then I wrote, I could lose the support, which is love, of this community by saying the wrong thing, or by being in a place too long in my mind, And I thought, my gosh, I didn't know all this. And then it's just like,
Can she take her picture off, and just the voice? Mexico has kind of bad.
Oh, that could be. I don't know if you can hear me right now, Serena, but what you could do, maybe you just froze on us, but if you turn off your video, then that might help.
For Mexico, because the internet's not very strong in Mexico. Are you there? We can't hear your voice. Turn off your video, your picture, the camera, and see if you know how to do that. And then put your microphone back on. There, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Did you hear anything I said?
Yeah.
We still heard a lot of it. We lost you for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear about torture?
About what?
The torture?
No, we didn't hear that part.
Okay. So that was the last part of the loss and gain, was that I could possibly do something so wrong that I would be tortured to death.
Okay.
And that just felt like the worst loss of what I perceive in this moment as life. So going through this is, for me, very helpful. Thank you.
No, that's great, Serena. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I resonate very much with the loss and sacrifice part of these 20 pages, because every time you take a leap, like I just explained, you'll think that there's a loss, that you're giving something up. And the only way you'll ever know that you're not is to take these leaps and see that not only is there no loss and no sacrifice, but it's joy that you couldn't even have imagined. And we will never know that until we stop trying to give ourselves everything, which is illusions or nothing, and we let Spirit give us that which is our nature, which we don't even remember. So it really is a trust walk, because we do feel like there'll be a loss, but I've been so shown that it really doesn't exist. So thank you, Serena. Did anyone have any questions about content? Or what something means?
Hi.
Hey.
I was only able to skim through the 20 pages, but this part here, God is a pure idea, as is Christ. That just seemed to be more metaphysical than anything. I guess I like the part that says forgiveness clears the way for remembrance of God. So that is always the focus. So that makes it clear. Maybe I don't have to understand what a pure idea is, or, that there's something deeper behind this than I can comprehend now with my mind, I just would, everybody's saying good things or things that are really important to help us all towards the awakening. I really like that. This week I've been feeling more that I experienced the whole mind thing, the one mind and the oneness more. I had a couple experiences on Monday where I had trouble driving because I wanted to go to the movies, but I couldn't quite see where to go. It looked like it had all flattened out, and I was like, that doesn't look right, and I couldn't remember how to get to the theater. I couldn't remember. Yeah, it was kind of like a minute of confusion there. And I'd been talking about some people that I knew that they were like little reindeers, right? And then somebody else I didn't know started talking about little reindeer, and I'm like, that's kind of interesting. It just made me feel like I get like seconds of, yeah, we all are joined, and this is oneness. That I can kind of get. Even that's hard sometimes, But yeah, I just sort of skim through the mind. I can kind of get that more, that what the separation is, and that there is this one mind, and we're all that one mind.
Yeah, in community, there's several of us, so we try to. I'm often hearing from others, like, if I'm struggling through something, like it's time for me to look at no compromise, or it's time for me to look at certainty. Like, someone will point out to me that I've compromised or that I'm in my fear, and I'll see it, and I'll have guilt, and then I'll hear, it's the mind. It's what the mind is healing right now, and it's all over. It's not just you, it's the ego. And it's really helpful for me. And as well as when, like tonight, we all shared, something that it's almost we all were finding a miracle within the chaos, even with just noticing the chaos in the mind. That's a miracle in itself that you can witness your own mind and see how much crap's in there. I mean, and that you don't want it. So it's just there's one Holy Spirit and there's one ego, and the Christ idea, the Christ mind that you spoke about. It is abstract. It is the unknown to us. God is the unknown. We've forgotten. It's really not, but we have forgotten it. So yeah, it's just to even let that sentence or that idea resonate, just like plant a seed within you and ask to be shown what that truly is. Show me what the Christ mind is. Let me experience the Christ mind. Like, we're all in this together. We all want the Christ vision. We all want the Holy Spirit's voice to be prominent in our mind. And yeah, you kind of had a glimpse of that on your way to the movies. Like, I don't even know if this world's here. I'm, not even to conclude about that. Like, we have those experiences all the time. Like, and we just really support each other. And well, if you're not to drive for the next few days, you're having mystical experiences, don't try to drive. It's okay. Yeah, it's cool, actually.
I have a question. I believe somewhere it said, or in many, many places, to check out your feelings. And if you are feeling good, you're going towards spirit. And if you're not feeling so good or having attack thoughts or whatever, going away. But I've noticed that a number of times I seem to be just kind of neutral. I don't really feel really high and light, and I don't really feel the other way. So what does that indicate? Does that mean that if I'm not feeling good and whatever, then I'm still going away from spirit in neutral?
I don't know what that noise is.
Can you turn off your microphone again, Louisa?
Yeah, I did. Let's see.
Just in between.
Just mute it. In between, yeah, it's really loud.
Okay, it's not good.
That's okay. I'll click it for you, Louisa.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
And if you need to speak again, you can just unclick it. I did. If you want to answer this, that's fine. I was just going to ask her what she feels like in neutral, and I do think that's a question for you, Eric.
Yeah, I kind of think my sense is that when you're feeling neutral, that would be like a state of kind of boredom or lethargy, or it's kind of like a complacent. I would say that from the way you described it, it sounds like a state of mind where, yeah, there's some kind of compromise going on, because I feel that when we are really tuning into the spirit, there's a feeling of a spark of some kind. There may be fear as well, but there's a feeling of aliveness, even a small feeling of like a spark in our heart. And when that's not there, I would say that we just need to really pray for guidance, pray for what we're not hearing, what we're blocking, and that's what comes to me, at least.
I really actually had the same thought. It could be, just even a distraction to say, well, at least I'm not feeling bad. I'll just stay in this, state of numbness, actually, which is what we are used to. And yeah, if you're not in complete joy, the Course says, then something's wrong.
Yeah, and it's just a call for vigilance. It's a call to be, to go even really amp up the desire or fuel the desire to hear Spirit's call, because that's how we want our life. Like every moment, ultimately or ideally, should be a feeling of being moved outside of our comfort zone, where we're on the edge, where we're awake, we're willing to face our fears. And if we're not feeling that way, if we're just kind of feeling kind of neutral, then it probably just means that the mind has, on a deep level, not that you're consciously doing this, but on a subconscious level, the mind has sort of chosen to just kind of forget about awakening for a while and just kind of focus on mundane things. But yeah, it's always an opportunity to just really tune in and say, okay, Spirit, what would you have me do now? Or what do I need to see? Or what grievances is in my mind? You don't have to go and find the grievance or find the problem, but you just want to pray for it. You want to pray to see what you haven't yet seen.
Yes, and we read in the 20 pages that we just read, it said that any time a brother is faced in front of you, you're either receiving love or a call for love. And I think that we can use that with yourself and how you perceive yourself. You're either feeling love or there's a call for love. And if you're not feeling love, then you have a call for love. So that would be to go into prayer and ask Spirit to guide you what to do to get back into that love and not to be in just a zone. Like that. We use mind training all day. In every task we're given and everything we do, we're training the mind, we're watching it. And yeah, if it's not attack thoughts and it's just like say we were painting and there's just like nothing. That's not the direction. So we can't. I don't know what you're experiencing exactly in your mind, but it does feels like prayer and just focus. And just to let the love come in. A lot of times to do that, if I'm not in a function where I'm talking to someone or doing a task that I'm concentrating on, I'll just put on some soft music that will direct my mind into that love experience. One of the great things I do is a 40-minute meditation we have called Trust. It's guaranteed 40 minutes of feeling peaceful and holy in your mind. Anything that resonates with you, though, and can get your mind to a place of love and peace. You're worthy of rest, a restful mind, a peaceful mind. And so if you don't find yourself there, just ask Spirit, what is it for me now? What is there? Because it's not always to look into the past about what worked before. It's really what is it now? That I do your will, not mine. Because that's where your joy is going to be. I feel like the pictures went. Is everybody still on? Oh,
yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. I'd like to hear a little more about the content is an extension of love or a call for love, and the to focus on form is idol worship. So just, if you could talk a little bit about the content and the form from kind of those perspectives, the idol worship, and what's going on there. I don't even know what I'm asking, but
yeah, because when you say content, what the content is Holy Spirit's interpretation. The content is the healing of God's Son. That's what content is. And form is everything you see with your eyeballs. Everyone you know, every concept you hold, everything you picture in the world, the entire world. So we're just addicted to the form, and that's all we know. And like recently, I believe I shared in a Google Hangout that I had left the world, but I only to realize that I had created a mini world within Living Miracles community, where I had gotten attached to people and ideas and labels and concepts. All the symbols were given to me in purpose by Spirit to take me higher, yet I saw that I was getting attached. Spirit showed me, okay, now give it back to me. You know, it's not, and I had to be shown that I wouldn't lose anything, but it was just like I was holding on a bit tight, and it was becoming my safety. And I started to think I needed people, certain ones or positions, certain functions and tasks and tours and things. These things were making me happy, so I was pinning it down to this form that was making me happy. That is not it. It's going way higher than that, and it's just practicing. It's actually, you know, just seeing when we become attached to something and feel that our safety depends on it. Neediness, grabbiness. It's fine. It's going to come up, and anything that comes up now is completely safe, and it is to be healed now. It's not in vain, but it's just choosing, and we can stay in that pain of, oh, I want this, or I want this person, or I want that thing. Eventually, if we want to heal our minds, it's going to be to let go. Anything that is not eternal has to be seen and let go of. So we're choosing the eternal, which is only God, in every situation. It comes to that in the end. I mean, Spirit, if the fear is too high, Spirit's just going to give you, you know, layer by layer. I mean, I've been working on these layers for a while, and when I haven't been ready, that's been fine. But the purpose is to always seek God above all forms. That's what we're going for here. It's huge. It's everything, and we think there's going to be sacrifice and loss, and we just have to ask to be shown that it's everything that we want. That it's our safety does not lie in illusions, in people, in anything that can die. Is not where we want to put our safety or our. That's how it becomes an idol, because we think that's going to make us happy before God. That's how it becomes an idol. Our attention is focused on it instead of God, more than God. It's got to, right now my practice is just, because I'm just relentless right now, like I'll just out of nowhere, like a pang of fear will come in. Well, I know that fear is not real, so I can either, you know, it's just okay, God, I feel fear. I mean, this becomes as natural as breathing, that when you feel fear, you just go, oh, wow, fear's here, God. That's it. I mean, it's not even God, it's God. I'm going to choose something different. And it's just constant attention. There's nothing else. Nothing else is real. That form is the illusion, is the world. Content is God, the Spirit. Forgiveness is that it's not real. I'm going to forgive the fact that I think I want this over God. I have to forgive the whole world piece by piece, but we're unwinding our mind. It's a process. It's layer by layer. I think I want this person. We've all gotten over people every time, in fact. No matter how many people you've loved, you've survived them, and you will again. No matter how many jobs you've lost or times you've moved, you've gotten over it. You're going to be fine. You don't need it. All you need is God in every moment. All you need is Spirit in every moment. And yeah, it's just a decision in every instant. We're unwinding our mind instead of ripping the screw out. That would be really, really painful.
It's like a screw in the wall.
A screw in the wall.
You have to unscrew it. You can't just rip it out of the wall.
Yep. So although it seems like a long, tedious journey, it's really not. I mean, when you see what needs to be seen, the past completely falls away. There was never a journey. There was never a problem. It doesn't even exist. It's an instant that you left your father. An instant in your mind, you never left him. And it was healed the minute it happened. So it just takes a while for all these ideas to just plant in your mind, and it's happening because of the questions. You're questioning everything, and you want to know, and it will happen. Serena, does that Any more questions around content and form?
No, that was great. That was, yeah, it was great. Thanks, Ricki.
Oh, thank you.
Do we read from the course or anything together, or from the Unwind Your Mind book or anything, or it's all personal experience sharing?
We're following a specific guideline for these meetings, and if someone wants to reference something they read that really stood out to them, they're welcome to, but we're just following the guidelines that were given by the Spirit for these groups. And I was actually, we don't read the course, we're going by Unwind Your Mind, and the assignment for the reading is given prior to the meeting. Mm-hmm. And then we discuss the practical application, actually. We don't discuss or like talk about what if you have any questions about the meeting, the meaning of the text, we're open. We will answer your questions, yes. Oh. But we don't read it together, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I just like to hear it. I just love to hear it.
Oh, me too. That's what I said. You could carry these 20 pages around forever. And I was actually, I went to the restroom where a lot of my great thinking occurs. And I remembered that when I was reading these 20 pages today, the sentence that stood out to me, I didn't know it came from Unwind Your Mind. It was posted on Facebook like 2 weeks ago. And it's been the healing, I believe, of my entire sing lately, because I've concentrated and focused on this one sentence so much. And it is, hand your thinking over to the Holy Spirit so that you will have unified perception, unified vision. It's like, it was more detailed than that, but basically I've used it in this way that every time I hear myself in my mind, I'm like, okay, I have to transform my entire thought system. I'm done with my thought system anyway. I'm not keen on it anymore. I'm done. So I see it come in and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's abstract. In my perception, it's abstract to hand my thinking over to the Spirit and have unified perception. That is still an abstract idea to me, yet I'm experiencing it. Because every time my thought system comes in that I know I don't want anymore, I actually say, okay, Holy Spirit, take my thought system. I don't want it anymore. It's yours. When I'm handing that over, I literally picture every form that I've idled in that, every form of picture, image on the screen that I idolize, every hurtful thought or nagging thought that I have, every worry, I'm lifting up. I don't even have to go through them anymore. I'm just like, take it, Holy Spirit, all of it. I don't care what I have to lose in this. I don't care if I lose it all. Take me. So I hand that, with that kind of like prayer, honey, let me tell you, I just kind of step back as I hand over my thought system, and I have become a witness more and more every day. And that my perception is becoming unified. Somehow it's because I'm not attaching to the images. I'm not getting upset feelings from the things coming at me or the images as much. And if I do, I don't go, oh, there it is again. I go, oh, there it is again. Here you go. Time to hand it over. It's not dramatic anymore. It's not I failed. It's not upsetting, because I recognize that thought system that will be handed over. And so it's just, and as I want the unified perception, when I say that part of the prayer, I literally experience myself moving backwards in my mind, and consciousness being in the front. I'm going to see beyond this image or the form, and I go into an abstract experience. I don't know what it is. I don't imagine it. I don't fantasize about what it looks like. I just start to slowly step back from what I actually think I see and let the new vision be given. That's what I'm doing for 2 weeks, and there's an experience of lightness in my mind. And you can see that we're given everything I need, because this reading came in for like the 3rd time. We had a friend call us last night and say, it's time to read from the book, and it was like, oh my God, it was everything. It's always for me. You know, if you're ready, you'll be given everything you need to take that next step, whatever it is, whether it's letting go of a job, a person, not buying a car because it's not panning out. You know, it's like it seems to be 100 obstacles in the way. It's just saying, okay, I'll go with the flow. I'm not going to force this. If it's stepping back from being a caretaker and saying, Spirit's the only caretaker. It's the same thing people have to do with children all the time. How am I going to let go of monitoring and micromanaging my child? Spirit is the only one that can take care of anyone. We have to be shown how that could possibly happen. Oh, it's okay for me, but how's everybody else going to get by? This journey is it's a taking risks, and it's taking leaps, and it's going into the unknowns gently. Gentle steps if that's what you need. And then if you're done with the little ones and you're like, give it to me good, you get some wild stuff. It's all good. And I was just sharing with, I was just sharing with a few people lately, and with my own experience, that another way to look at fear, it's been really helpful, but another way to look at fear is not to label it as fear when it comes up, and because it's oftentimes just excitement. You're about to take a leap or make a change, and there's just, it's so wobbly and disorienting, and a lot of times it's just excitement because you know you're getting close to the light. The ego will say, yeah, look at you, you're all scaredy cat, but it's, we're just getting used to hearing a different voice, that's all.
Ricki, you said...
Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, we got somebody.
Yeah. Ricki, you said something that really, it was great to hear again, because we're talking about, not directly, but as you were describing about the prayer. Because I spent a lot of time when I was in my apartment praying, but it was praying the words. in desperation. It wasn't the real, you know, what is it? What is it I want to pray for? What is it really? And when I was hearing you describe it, it's like really the prayer of the heart, you know, what's really going on. So, I mean, I've come to that point where if I try to pray the words now, it feels all jumbled up. So I have to stop and get still. And so that's such a great reminder to do the prayer from the heart and not from the mind, the part of my mind that thinks it wants something, or this, okay, Spirit, this is really what I need. But I don't have a clue what I need. So thank you for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I thought that what you mentioned about show me, what is it that I need? What's next? That was really profound. Because sometimes, you know, you can get into kind of a pattern, and that numbness that we were mentioning earlier, that kind of not knowing exactly, you don't feel either sad or happy. Yeah, that is a state that I think is, once it's recognized, and that's a huge thing. I never really thought about that. But that, unless you're in joy, you know, you're not really moving. So that's helpful. Make it clear, I think, is a good prayer. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the perfect prayer. Make it obvious. Make it clear. You'd be surprised how the signs show up, too, when you pray that. Like, it's so obvious. It's like written on your forehead.
Yeah, there's that movie, Bruce Almighty, where Jim Carrey is like, he's like so angry at God, and he gets in his car, and he's just driving down, and he's like, if you're real, show me a sign. And there's like this truck in front of him with all these signs that say, wrong way, go back.
Stop.
Like, go back to your apartment, because he's basically left his girlfriend. It's just hilarious. It's like an extreme example of...
He doesn't see any of them.
He doesn't see anything, yeah. He doesn't see any of the signs. He's praying for a sign, but it's coming.
The lights are flashing with 1,000 street signs in the back of a truck. Stop, don't go this way. Give me a sign. Oh, you suck. You know, there's only 800 signs in front of you, dude. We just...
Yeah, and it's often that way for us all. Maybe not as extreme as that, but they're always there. The Spirit's never, you know, a lot of people I think have told us that God's mysterious, and you know, you have to like learn to read the symbols. But God isn't trying to be mysterious, or the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is actually trying to just be very clear all the time, and it's only our mind that kind of wants it to be mysterious and wants it to be obscured because it'd be too fearful. It's just, it doesn't want the direct experience. So it's always clouding, like shrouding God's messages in mystery.
But God's voice speaks to me all through the day is one of the lessons. You just have to get really quiet to hear it. Just like Erik said, it's always there. Actually, you just have to choose it. Well, sometimes we're just in fear. We're like, okay, but I'm going to do this because that's all I can handle right now. I need this because I had the hardest week ever. You have no idea how intense it was. I've been in the eye of the needle. I mean, I'm talking about myself. I've been in the eye of the needle, and I need a break. Sorry. but I won't find my happiness there, and I haven't.
Yeah. That was like last night. Me and Ricki were like, oh, it's been a tough day. Let's just like have a good meal and watch a movie. We basically decided on the forum we're gonna have a good meal and watch a movie.
That's what we decided.
And it just like the meal part kind of worked out, but then the moment we actually started watching the movie with our meal, we finally get our meat. Like,
didn't work out.
We have our food. No, but the cooking it did. And then,
cooking it.
And then we had the meal in front of the movie, and we were just okay. This is our moment to get what we want. You know, what our ego wanted. Dinner and a movie, and then all these calls start coming in, and like all this other things just started happening that we couldn't even eat our meal. And
it was cold by the time we tried.
It was cold by the time we got to. It was just so funny. It was like a perfect example of how you just, the moment you decide upon the form of what you want, then you've lost sight of the real purpose of your life, which is forgiveness, and things are going to go haywire, and they're going to it's actually not really haywire. Things are just going to go the way they go to bring you back on track. Really, that's.
And we were in our joy. Eric had a major shift last night. It was everything he wanted was that call. We didn't need to watch that dumb movie. We'd already seen that movie, but we were. It was so funny. We were just like, yeah, I haven't been on we got a new couch at the Peace House. I haven't even been on it. I was just like, oh my God, this is my favorite thing to eat. Literally, I think 3 hours later, we were in a high function on phone calls, joining on talks. Eric had these huge shifts. Everything was seen, major healing happening, and then that happened like for 3 hours, and then at 10 o'clock we're like, well, we could watch the movie, and I'm like, all right. We're like, we're going to bed. Good night. I was like, screw that. Yeah. We were done. Really there was no movie going to happen, and it's pretty cool. But it was cool. We were open to watch a movie because we haven't joined like that in a while, and I'm sure we weren't really sparked. We had a hard time picking the movie. We just decided on something. It was great. Yeah. Like when it's time for a movie in our community, it's only for the healing. You hear the movie before you think of watching a movie. Like, oh my God, because Spirit gives you the movie to heal what you're going through. And then you have the most wonderful movies, popcorn, and
there's usually like even fear associated with it. Like, I don't know if I really want to watch the movie.
No, there's not fear. There's like, I don't feel it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like a push off or something.
Push away. Yeah.
That's how you know sometimes.
Yeah, I do want to address something that, is it Leslie?
Yeah,
Leslie, can you hear us? Okay. That you said, it's funny. When I got to the monastery 4 years ago, I had been reading the Course for 3 years, all day, and meditating, basically. And I resonated with the text for some reason, more than the lessons, and I was finishing the lessons. I had read the text 8 times, and I was on the last few lessons. And it was so much to do with retreats and function and joining that I wasn't having time. I was reading the Course 8 hours a day, and I told David, I'm sorry, but this is great, joining in all these functions and being with all these people, but I'm not getting my Course time in. I read the Course all day. And he's like, oh yeah, you did that for 3 years. It's done. It's time to experience it. And I was like, what? All my joy is in reading that book. And he was like, well, you did good with it too. It's just time to get off that rung of the ladder. And for the next year, I felt guilty that I wasn't reading, and I felt like I had a loss. I don't think it was a year, but I would still do a lesson here and there. I'd get the time in, but I wanted my me time with my book, And I haven't picked up the Course in a year because I have not resonated with it. There's a lesson that says, forget this world, forget this Course, and come with holy empty hands unto your God. And the time comes for all of us, and I just, every once in a while, I'll refer to something in the Course, but I actually am living it every minute. It's just a trip to experience it in that way. And yeah, it's just to be open to what's, given in the moment. So I did resonate with what you said, Leslie, but it's just interesting how some things are just not given in the moment. And what we mean by given is like what's the hardest thing to accept is what is actually happening is what's perfect. Like for me, that's been the hardest thing. Like, oh, I don't want to be in Utah or at the monastery. I want to be on tour. Or I don't want to be with this person. I resonate with this person and this person. It's like, oh my God, it's a whole. David's teachings are so deep. It's like any preference that you have is a defense against the truth. That's what he teaches. It's not just preferences. It's opinions. Any opinion you have is a defense against the truth.
Yeah.
Major.
Mm. Hmm.
Okay, it's Lisa again. I'm going through something. My sister in St. Louis is literally in hospice and is, as we say in form, dying. And there's all my family members, there aren't that many of them, but they don't understand what I'm doing now or what I'm going through. And they don't understand why I don't join with them so much in talking about all the details of her dying and this and that. And she'll call me different times of the night because she's frightened. And of course, she knows nothing about the course or just doesn't key in at all. And I'm not sure that she's able to at this point. Can you give me any suggestions for dealing with her death and the things that are going on with my family and all? Because I realize that, you know, that's content, but also I don't want to shy away with saying the things I can to her that might be helpful to her. I'm not sure I said that right, but
Yeah. Go ahead and mute your microphone.
We're going to end on time. We're going to end on time. So.
Is it muted?
No.
You can mute it for her, Eric.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just speak briefly of that because we just have a few minutes left and we're going to close on time with a song. But yeah, I had an experience when my mother was passing and she was in the hospital. And yeah, everybody they couldn't really understand that I was going through my own process of letting go of the mother concept, of the concept that I was losing a mother. And it was very, very deep for me. And I really had to be very prayerful about when I would go to the hospital and when I wouldn't. And I had a lot of discernment lessons. But yeah, I just always felt that I was guided to, you know, basically say that I was joining with her in my mind, and that felt like the most healing for me at the time, to just really be in prayer and feel that love that's there, but not try to explain it. Like, I mean, the world will never understand this path. People will never understand it. So I think that we just have to be true to ourselves and just trust that if we're true to ourselves, everyone will be taken care of. So on that note, we're going to do a closing song.
Okay.
And I don't know which one yet.
Oh.
Wait here?
Oh, I'm open. I thought we were going to.
Oh.
You feel something else?
I not really.
If you do, I'm open.
I still have that one in my mind to do, but Only Love, I'm open to.
Whatever you feel.
Okay. All right. I'll do this one that's called Only Love. And maybe this will even answer your question on a deeper level, Louisa. This is a song that my ex-wife, Armel, wrote years ago when we were married. And yeah, it's just a really beautiful song that takes the listener deep into this abstract experience that everything but the truth isn't really there. It's just something that we're perceiving. Okay. Only love, only love, only love, only love, only love. There is only love. The past is gone, and I have been so mistaken in everything I saw. Nothing was real. The past is gone, and all has been forgiven. It all has been my imagination. Only love, only love, only love, only love, only love. There is only love. Past is gone, no more future. Time and space disappear. It was just a dream. Here or there, in or out, it's all the same. No more barriers. Only love, only love, only love, only love, only love. There is only love. You and me, up and down, they all collapse. There is only one. You and me and you, it's over now. There is only one. Only one, only one, only one, only one, only one. There is only one. Only love, 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 only love. Only love, there is only love. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you. Good night.
Always a treat.
See you next week.
Yeah.
Good night.
Night.
Night, Serena.
Good night.
Mwah.
Good night. Thank you.
Night, Daniel.
No, you're welcome, Dan.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.